Capitalism. Imagine you're running your own business. You own everything, your products, your store. Capitalism relies on private property, free markets, competition, and the division of labour. It functions through millions of minds like yours acting in unison to make complex decisions about supply, demand, price, and innovation in real time. This collective process creates what's called the invisible hand of the market, guiding economic efficiency without central control. But there's a catch. As successful businesses accumulate wealth, they often push smaller competitors out of the market. The rich get richer, and income inequality grows. Socialism. Socialism comes in many forms, but in the most classic sense, imagine that instead of running your own business, the means of production are socially owned, usually by the state. These are operated with the priority of providing services rather than generating profit, and are typically funded by taxes. The goal is to reduce the gap between the rich and the poor by using taxes to fund services that are available to everyone, regardless of their income. You'll have more security, but some argue that without competition, innovation slows down and growth will be reduced. Communism. Picture this: no one owns anything privately. All property, factories, farms, homes, are shared collectively by the people. In this communist world, everyone works according to their ability and receives according to their needs. There are no rich or poor, no social classes, and no state to rule over you. Sounds like a utopia, right? In theory, yes. But without personal incentives, people are often less motivated to work hard, so the economy becomes less productive. It also requires a strong central government to manage and plan the transition, and plan the economy. And this power vacuum often creates space for authoritarian regimes to take control. Mixed economy. A mixed economy blends elements of capitalism and socialism. You still have private businesses competing in sectors like tech and retail, but the government steps in to manage crucial areas like healthcare, education, and welfare. It's like the best of both worlds, encouraging innovation while also providing a safety net. Most modern countries, like the US and much of Europe, operate under this system. You get the freedom to start your own business, but there are support systems in place for those who need them. Traditional economy. Imagine you live in a small rural village where people grow their own food, make their own clothes, and trade with neighbours. There's no money, just bartering and subsistence. This is a traditional economy. It's simple, stable, and closely tied to the community's customs and traditions. Although it's sustainable, it doesn't adapt well to change. Modern technology and global competition are impossible to keep up with. Command economy. Now imagine a system where the government tells you what to produce, what quantity, and who gets what. That's a command economy. The state controls everything, from food production to technology. You're not competing in a market, you're just simply following orders. This system can mobilize resources quickly for big projects like building infrastructure, but it often leads to inefficiency and corruption. Power becomes concentrated, and innovation takes a back seat. Feudalism. Let's travel back in time to the Middle Ages. Imagine you're a peasant working on a farm. You don't own the land, it's owned by a lord who provides you with protection in exchange for a portion of your crops. The social structure was rigid. If you were born a peasant, you stayed a peasant. Feudalism provided stability in chaotic times, but personal freedom was extremely limited. Mercantilism. Jump to the 16th century. You're part of a nation that believes wealth is finite and based on how much gold or silver it possesses. Under mercantilism, countries competed to hoard precious metals by controlling trade. The goal was simple: export more than you import, and keep wealth flowing into your country's treasury. Colonial powers exploited this system, seeking out new lands rich in gold and silver. It created vast empires, but also sparked conflict as nations fought to control resources. Corporatism. Imagine living in a society organized into specialized sectors: agriculture, military, engineering, each one referred to as a corporation. You're assigned to one based on your skills and interests, and the goals of these corporations are set by the government. Corporatism encourages collaboration between workers, employers, and the state to manage the economy together. However, close government-business relationships often lead to corruption and cronyism, where established players block competition and innovation. It's important not to confuse this system with a corporatocracy, where corporations hold excessive power over government policies. Anarchism. Picture a world with no government, no rules, and no central authority. That's anarchism. Instead, people self-organize and work together to manage resources, with the goal of achieving maximum freedom and equality. Sounds liberating, right? But here's the challenge. Without formal rules or leadership, how do you keep things running smoothly? Maintaining order in a large, complex society without centralized control is nearly impossible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'll be making more just like it. Don't forget to subscribe.